All right, what's going on, everybody? This is Sparkle Fresh, and real quick, I want to get into this new golf ball. It is called the Haunted Ball. It is absolutely hilarious. The sucker screams when you hit it. It is part of the new update. Check this out. And what's awesome too is the golf ball actually looks like a skull. I'm going to zoom in up for you really quick and take a look at it. It is actually an elite class ball, so it's really has pretty good statistics as well. I highly recommend checking that out, although you're going to have to kind of spend some money. But something we're going to talk about real quick is the actual update. The update is pretty cool. It's nothing, too crazy, but they did add 50 new items. That is probably going to be the key for most of us. 50 new items across the board. I honestly don't know what they all are. They did also add, they upped the amount of earnings that you get, but to me, what it looks like is that they doubled the earnings. So if you've played through most of the career mode, it's not gonna help you out that much. Although if you haven't, you are gonna come up fat. You are gonna end up winning some, tons of money just because it's so much. But for everybody else that has completed a lot of the career mode, you're really not going to benefit too much from it because you won so much money from playing, or so little money from playing the free plays, that double $2,500 isn't that much. And I'm not sure if it actually doubles it, but it is pretty close either way. They also added in a few bug fixes and another thing, a few things here and there, but there's still no, player versus player multiplayer like via online, which would be absolutely huge. I mean, that would kind of take this game to the next level, the level that it needs to get if it wants to compete with, some of the other golf games that are coming out. But it still has a long time. The game was only $20, so hopefully they add in some more of the features. It would definitely help longevity. I know that it takes a little bit of work to implement such things, but hopefully it's coming. Hopefully some new courses are coming, but 50 new items is pretty awesome. So I'm not going to complain about that. It was a free update. Don't worry about updating it. The Xbox One will do that for you. So if you haven't played the game in a while, it probably already updated itself without you even knowing it. So this video basically is going to be about, I had somebody ask me about the special, the special abilities of all the players, how they work and how you can use them and how you can use them best. And also they wanted to kind of describe some of the statistics. I did a video on statistics, so I'm not going to get into it too much, but specifically accuracy or strike. Strike was one of them. So I'm going to show you a little bit on how the strike works and what exactly that does. So let me set this up real quick and I'll get back into it and I will see you in a second. Alrighty, we're back and we're going to start off with Frank. He has the rocket launch ability, and basically you're only going to want to use this on par 5s. Unless you're playing some of the more difficult courses like Burning Sands, you're going to want to go ahead and use those for difficult shots over water if you need to land somewhere in particular. But in all reality, this perk is decent for the longer courses. Some of the newer courses are the easier courses, It's really not going to be that beneficial, and I don't necessarily recommend using Frank until you get at least to the Emperor's Garden course. That's where he's really going to benefit you, and some of the other characters, it'll probably be a little bit better to use them just because their abilities are going to help you achieve a lower score, and that's kind of what we're going for here. You want to use, the abilities and the perks that are going to help you the most. So I say use him on the more difficult courses. Now we are going to get into Reiko. Her ability is the Tesla field. I'm going to show you a couple different ways on how to use this real quick. One way is if it's a longer hole, you can use it to help stop it. We don't have a lot of room over this bunker right here. So activating the Tesla field is going to help us stop the ball. It's not necessarily going to, we're not necessarily going to make it doing this, but on a shot like this where you have a little bit of green to work with, it is going to help hold the ball into place, which is nice. And the next shot that I have coming up here is, man, I don't even remember, to be honest with you. Let's wait for it to pop up here and take a look at it. So this is 48 feet downhill. I wouldn't necessarily recommend using it on a shot like this because the ball's it's gonna bounce pretty high. It's not going to have a lot of roll to it. And how you want to use the Tesla field is you want the ball to kind of have a little bit of momentum going into it, so the Tesla field will pull it towards the hole. But, oh, I know why I put this in here. Here we go. Boom, easy. Yeah, I think I kept that in there just because it was a hole-in-one, and I played like 2 holes, and then that was the first one I played, and I was like, oh well, I'll show it anyways. But I do another hole right after that. I exit out of here, and I go to the next hole, and I show you how to utilize it a little bit better. You don't want to land the ball next to the hole when you're using this. You kind of want to land it short and let it roll up. And what that's gonna do is what I mentioned before. It's gonna allow that Tesla field to start, using its magnetic abilities to pull the ball towards the hole. And the longer it has to be in the Tesla field, the more it's going to affect it. So on this shot, we landed a little bit shorter. It has a little bit of momentum going in, and it just starts pulling it. It starts pulling it right towards the pin, and it goes in. It's not gonna go in every time. A lot of times, you'll come up a little bit short. It'll end up right on the lip, but if you do it right, it'll increase your odds of making a hole-in-one, and it will also just help you get the ball a lot closer to the hole and drop your score. I mean that's 2 shots. It's basically an eagle right there. So that, along with the par 5s, you're going to be looking at a good round. Who did I do next? Henry. He has the illusion ball. The illusion ball is cool because it pops into 5 different balls. So on this shot right here, I'm going to hit it a little bit short. So I'm going to act like it's going into the sand trap, and then I'm going to activate his ability. And his ability is going to break this shot up into 5 different golf balls, which you can actually manipulate a little bit with the left analog stick. But you see those 4 balls in the bunker right there. That's what my other one would have been. But instead, I got one good one. It pops up to the hole, and it's going to take the ball that is the closest to the hole. So, I went from making a par right here to having a putt for an eagle. That is a 2-shot difference. So that is going to be, huge when it comes to your round. So that's a good one. It's not my favorite perk. That guy's not my favorite character, but it's still something, to think about. Kiera right here, she has a ability called Lucky Clover, and what this is going to do is mid-air, it's going to kind of reroute the ball towards the hole. So you push it, it shoots the ball over, and it redirects it towards the hole. You're not necessarily going to want to use this on anything but approach shots. I found mostly because if you use it on a drive or anything like that, depending on where that flag stick is, it's not necessarily going to help you. Oh, this is going quick. All right, so Master Laoshi. Laoshi actually means, or it translates into teacher in Chinese. But what this is going to do is this is going to slow down your shot bar. Super slow. Watch this. If you miss this or don't hit a perfect shot here, then I don't even know what to say. But this is going to be best to utilize when you need to hit an absolute perfect shot. This shot that I hit right here is probably not the best one to use it for, but I just wanted to kind of show you how it worked. Again, not my favorite one, but if you need to hit a perfect shot, that is going to be a good one for you to use. Next, we're going to go to Dominique. She has a super spin. I'm going to show you 2 different ways to do this. This is an interesting perk. I personally, it's not my favorite one, but it can be extremely helpful. So on a shot like this, I'm going to hit it a little bit farther than I normally would. When it's up in the air, you go ahead and you press the X button to activate it, and it's going to bring up this arrow. I'm pulling it back, and as that power increases, it increases the amount of spin. So the ball is not going to spin a lot, and the next one I'm going to show you is actually going to be on a drive to where I want to get a lot of topspin, possibly move the ball over, you know, a little bit in one direction. But you can see she's only going to hit it about 250 yards. But when I activate this and I raise the, you know, spin bar right here as high as it can go, when that ball hits the ground, it's going to have a ton of topspin and it's just going to run forever. So instead of hitting it 250 yards, I ended up hitting it almost 300 yards. So that's pretty big. I know a lot of people, you know, like using that character, but overall, she's not my favorite. So I hope that helped. And next we're going to move on to the strike ability. All right, we're back and we're going to be talking about the strike stat right now. Basically what I did is a little overlay right here. You can see my strike stat is at 0, and the club I'm using is a driver. So as you can see, the more that I continuously move up my strike stat, that green center dot right there will get bigger, which means hitting a perfect shot will be easier. The complement to this is accuracy, which is the white bar. The white bar doesn't necessarily grow in size, but what it's going to do is it's going to make your misses go a lot straighter. So that's good. But this is mostly about the strike stat. I'm just doing a little overlay right here. I'm obviously not the best at editing, and I apologize for that. But I'm still trying to show you, to the best of my ability, exactly how this works. So as you can see, it continuously goes up. We're about halfway to max right now, and it is getting bigger. And just remember, this is with a driver, so the easier the club is to hit, the bigger the strike zone will become. And at the end up here, I kind of do, I show you the difference between no strike stats, or where it's like at absolutely 0. Right here, you can see I have a sand wedge on one side and a driver on the other side. The driver is next to nothing, and the sand wedge is a little bit bigger. But as we move over to almost maximum, you can see how much larger it has become. Absolutely massive difference. Hitting those perfect shots is going to mean that you're going to hit your yardage more. You're going to hit better shots overall, and it's just good. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to leave you with a little clip that I hit a while ago. It was on a par 5, and it's awesome. I hope you guys are having a good one, and I'll see you later.